Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach and we're looking at another ECOMI video there. ECOMI VeVe video as per usual. Currently the price 0.003097 on a low of in the 2s today actually, okay, and in the highs of 3196. Now, what we're going to be looking at right now is VeNFTs Garyvee or Gary Vaynerchuk on the future of NFTs on Squawkbox on CNBC. Let's have a listen to what Gary has to say.
Friends made more than $50 million in sales.
So let's start from the very beginning because I think it got cut off a little bit there.
VeFriends made more than $50 million in sales since its launch in May.
VeFriends has made more than 50 million in sales since its launch in May. Let's not forget, of course, the smart contract capabilities, the fact that, of course, they're going to be seeing contracts in perpetuities regarding resales, etc. Crazy stuff.
He now is announcing a new collaboration with Anheuser-Busch for an NFT project with Budweiser. Joining us now, Gary Vaynerchuk, CEO of VeNERNFT. Mita, I saw, what did 500 million? That was not the Friends thing, that was something else? Trying to keep it all straight, Gary.
Yeah, that was NBA Top Shot, which passed 600 million, so kudos to them.
It doesn't even matter what we're talking about. So it's happening, and once again, kudos. You make sense for us on this show about what's happening here, but it's still being met with a lot of skepticism and just people don't really understand what's happening. But the latest thing, and you point out that how much? $2 billion spent on NFTs in the first quarter of this year. That's a 2,100%. From the fourth quarter of 2020. So it is happening whether you understand it and like it or not. And this Budweiser news that you have for us is kind of explains what's going on if people don't understand. Can you...
Okay, I'm going to let him explain it first, and then I think there's some missing context that will be missing, basically, because it's only a 4-minute video.
Can you explain it?
Yeah, I mean, it's happening the same way that Internet 96.7 happened. It's the same way that social media 2005-6 happened, right? There was so much happening, yet 98% of this viewership, it wasn't hitting the radar yet, or 98% of the world for that matter, wasn't hitting the radar yet because it was just early, and there's gonna be dips. But when you see a company like ABI InBev make the commitment to be our first major client with Budweiser in this new company I'm standing up called VaynerNFT, which is going to help brands launch their NFT projects. You're just starting to see every little piece that you saw back in 05, 6, 7 for social.
Can I just say the fact that he's made VaynerNFT right now, VaynerX is his holding company that holds all the properties, VaynerMedia, Vayner Gaming, Vayner Sports, Wine Library. Actually, no, I think Wine Library is probably different. I don't know, though, to be fair. And I would imagine that Constellation Wines was probably behind it, too. Or was it Constellation? No, Empathy Wines that was bought by Constellation. Regardless, doesn't matter. The point is that he's literally set up a whole new company on NFTs because the reality is there is so much going on here. And I can tell he's just, as he was with Instagram, as he was with Facebook, as he was with Web 2.0 and Web 1.0. Unfortunately, I'm too young to have seen him practicing that out because I was very much in school. But it's crazy to see the investment that this man is putting in. And the fact is that Budweiser, I'm not surprised because Gary does have the respect and I think the trust of a lot of Fortune 500 companies already working with them, PepsiCo, etc., via VaynerMedia, being sort of the digital marketing agency, the full house digital marketing agency that they work with. Seeing Budweiser hop on board with Gary's, sort of new vision of what he expects to see, it's not surprising, but it is amazing to see. 96,
7, and 8 for Internet 1.0.
Specifically, what will Budweiser and Vayner...
Can I just point out as well that literally as I come off saying Web 1.0, he's bringing that in.
96, 7, and 8 for Internet 1.0.
Specifically, what will Budweiser and Vayner... or what are we going to call it? VeNERNFT. That's sort of the...
Yeah, that's
the intersection of your marketing services and what you do with NFTs.
It's a standalone consultancy company, right? VaynerX, I have about 10 companies underneath it, VaynerMedia being the first one, but Budweiser...
Can I just say, I haven't watched this video before, but because I know this man's business so well on the basis of listening him almost every day for like 2 to 3 years,
ABI InBev are teaming up with the newest company, VaynerNFT, and that company's job is to consult, strategize, and then launch NFT projects. To ABI InBev's credit, they had a remarkable collaboration with Stella Artois in the UK, and they saw the kind of inclinings over selling over $1 million in horses skins, right? Digital horse skins. I know everybody's watching right now and drinking their company like, what? And then obviously we've been partners with them for 8 years at VaynerMedia, and they go, if Gary sold $51 million worth of VeFriends, and we're sitting on one of the biggest brands in the world, and we know exactly who he and the organization is, this is probably a good bet for us. And what they're doing is similar to what they did 8 years ago with me and my brother AJ. When we started Vayner, they went all in on social, and we built out a lot of their social platforms, and our relationship has evolved quite a bit since then into a full-fledged agency partner with them. And so they've got the courage and the curiosity to say, hey, this limited amount of dollars, which is not insignificant, but in the scheme of their company, this limited amount of dollars is worth us tasting. Now, let me make this point to everybody who's watching. The great part about NFTs that are different than doing commercials or brand campaigns for brands is there's no hiding behind metrics or reports or headlines. You're going to see the economics of your NFT project. And for me, that accountability is the exciting part as a client service provider, because we'll be finally able at Vayner to show how much stronger we are than everybody else.
So what he's explaining there, I think, having listened to him a lot, answering questions a lot as well, you know, I've seen him speak on too many keynotes at this point, right? And the number of marketing people who are from more traditional backgrounds, I should say, to be, you know, nice about it, I guess, they ask, you know, how can we tell that, you know, that this post or that this post has given us any direct ROI as far as, you know, sales is concerned? And he said, you don't. How are you meant to know? Because it's about engagement. Of course, you're going to see increasing sales most likely, but there's not going to be a direct attachment to posting a Facebook post that you should be doing 3 or 4 to 10 times a day anyway, and, you know, the sales of your drink or company or whatever it might be. You know, you're going to see increased sales, but not every post is going to be directly attached in a measurable format to the sale of that drink or of the pet toy or whatever else that you are advertising on Facebook. Now here, of course, NFTs is very much a you know, it's a sale, right? It's a sale generally, often we see through Ethereum and stuff, right? And I think that's how VeFriends is going now. I also want to have a quick look at the VaynerNFT BUDWEISER stuff, right? I'm sure there'll be some press launches. Here we are. Let's go to Adweek, because I trust Adweek. I trust the other ones too, but Adweek I know. So let's go from here. So let's go through this, right? We have here, we have AB InBev is the first company to work with Vayner NFT, having named it as its agency to record, of record in the NFT space, with its beer brand BUDWEISER, the first to invest, the new arm of VaynerMedia run by Gary Vaynerchuk, chairman of parent company VaynerX, and Vayner NFT's president Avery, sorry, I'm not going to get their name right, but will partner with BUDWEISER to create new intellectual property-driven NFT experiences for the brand's fans across entertainment, sports, and music-based experience. Now, of course, this makes sense, right? Because the reality is that BUDWEISER is known, right? It's got that IP that, yes, people maybe not think of it in a way of, you know, of like an artist, right? Or a gamer, an esports athlete, or even an athlete, just a general sports athlete from the NFL or whatever. But BUDWEISER is a household name. You know, you go to any bar, BUDWEISER is there. You go to any shop, BUDWEISER is there. BUDWEISER is literally everywhere. Same thing, and I'm not sure if it's the same thing in the US, but with Guinness, right? Guinness in the UK is incredibly popular. Stella Artois is also very popular, and all of these different IPs do have the trust, honestly, over a lifetime of being essentially drank, right? And being on logos, on glasses, in bars, etc. Now, that is trust that is built up over generations, right? I don't know how long they've actually been around, but I know that they've definitely been around for a long ass time. And with that said, it's going to be interesting to see how they can develop their brand in the NFT space, essentially for social currency. What will they be able to do? Will it be smart contracts that allows certain experiences to take place. You know, they're saying right here, we have property-driven NFT experiences for brand fan across entertainment, sports, and music-based experiences, because entertainment, sports, and music-based experiences, let's break that down. Sports, of course, can essentially be a sports event. Music-based experiences is a concert. Entertainment could be, I don't know, a cinema, could be anything, right? And of course, that is what will be interesting to see how they can, what sort of value, I suppose, we can see from Budweiser through the NFT space, of course, with the direction being driven from VeNFT, which of course is headed by Garyvee. Now, with that being said, regarding ECOMI, how does this affect ECOMI? Because technically, isn't this some business that isn't going to ECOMI? Wouldn't it be better for ECOMI, for VeVe, and for the OMI token to see Budweiser on the VeVe app? Well, not necessarily. I mean, it could be helpful, and to be fair, we don't know what the license is. We don't know what specifically Budweiser is doing. Budweiser might, or sorry, I should say AB InBev, the parent company, it seems, may honestly be testing with Gary because they know Gary quite well. The reality is that VeVe, I think, is way more well known in the collectible space. So when we're talking about a mainstream drink brand, I'm not all that surprised that they've gone to Gary before they've gone to VeVe. Now, does that mean that they're going to have an in perpetuity license with VeNFT to only work with VeNFT? I don't believe they would. Maybe they could, but even if they do have an in perpetuity license to VeNFT, it's important to keep in mind that what's really helpful here is that if Budweiser's NFT project here, if it goes long term and if it's actually sustainable, and if people actually use it for whatever reason, right, we don't know specifically what the projects are going to be, that's going to be incredibly important for NFT acceptance over a long period of time. And the reality is that a lot of us know, and we can even have a quick look at the comment section, which, you know, if we have a look at the like to dislike ratio already, thankfully now these are starting to get more likes and dislikes, but I remember a time when they were getting a lot more dislikes, and I'm sure there's going to be people saying that's a sound of money going down the drain, NFTs are stupid, but all this internet waste will be stored somewhere, so I'm investing in Filecoin. I'll never understand why rich people who make frequent TV appearances don't buy a good quality microphone. He didn't really say anything, but I guess that's okay. This anchor is usually barely coherent with his questions, functionally, NFT, etc, right? People essentially are saying NFT might as well just burn your money, and this is brilliant for this video at least, because this shows the pushback, of course, that NFTs are having on a business channel, on CNBC television, on Squawk Box, right? The fact is there's still pushback. Now, if Budweiser and other major IPs, household IPs, are taking advantage of NFTs and actually do it in a way that brings value and FOMO, let's be honest, to communities, then this can only be good for the OMI token, as of course VeVe will also be benefited by the more mainstream touch that NFTs can have. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your take. This is how I think. Honestly, not everything has to be for VeVe. If NFTs are more accepted, if NFTs are more understood, that itself is massive for VeVe, and I'm so excited for that. So honestly, best of luck to Gary for this. He doesn't need my best of luck, but I'm sending it anyway. Best of luck to Gary for this, and of course I'm very excited to see how this pays dividends to the wider NFT space. This isn't only about VeVe. I want the NFT space in general to do well, and I know it will. It's just a matter of time. But with that being said, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If this video was interesting or helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, a like is always very much appreciated. And if you would like to be kept up with everything happening in ECOMI, VeVe, etc., I am trying to post more. We're going to get there very soon. I'm taking a break from my other channels a little bit to focus a bit more on this channel, so you should see a bit more uploads on this channel over the next few days. But with that being said, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.